There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Does this mean... Huh? Ta-da! No! Oh, fine. Huh? Ta-da! No! Oh, fine. I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well. Oh, fine. Huh? Would you care to... If you ever... Huh? Ta-da! No! Oh, fine. With enough Mora, you can afford to do anything. Even take on the academia. Can't catch me! Huh? I'm out of here!
Hey now. Check this out!
You made it. Come on, let's go inside. Brace yourself for some sour grapes.
If you're not feeling well, then let me go this time.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
What are you doing here today? And I see you've brought a +1.
Oh, it's nothing particularly pressing. It's just that we recently returned from Sumeru, and given how long it's been since we last visited the winery, we thought we'd drop by and say hello.
Is that it? Make yourselves comfortable then.
Oh, do you really mean that? Because my definition of comfortable happens to involve prodigious amounts of your finest wines. Speaking of which, I'm curious where you store the wine these days. Is it the same place as it always used to?
Sounds like you're in a hurry to reach your goal. Been plotting this raid for a long time?
Plotting a raid? Why, you misunderstand me. The truth is, a rumor happened to reach my ears recently. My informants tell me that last month, the Dawn Winery spent a large sum of mora on two... Of course, a teetotaler like yourself would struggle to tell the... Oh, wait. But the sterling reputation of Dawn Winery is at stake. Why, if you really purchased bootleg liquor, that would be scandalous.
Quite the story. You used that one last year. Got anything else?
What? Really? I totally forgot. In that case, how about the principle of reciprocity? Here, this is for you. I bought it for you in Sumeru. And it cost a veritable mountain of mora.
Thanks. Put it on the table.
That's it? No comment whatsoever?
You want a comment? Okay then. This thing is very in line with your unique aesthetic tastes. Much like that vase over there. Elzer, fetch a bottle of this year's newest batch from the warehouse, or else someone will keep blathering on with endless excuses.
One moment, Master Kaya. I shall fetch it immediately.
What's wrong, Elzer? Are you okay?
My throat is a bit raspy is all. It got better after I began taking medicine, but recently it flared up again. Other than a bit of difficulty breathing now and then, it's nothing to be concerned about.
Many illnesses are caused by overwork. If you don't get enough rest, medicine alone won't solve the problem. Surely you should have long since handed over the work of the winery to Diluc by now. You can't keep being Diluc's butler. He's becoming a louse.
Actually, most of the time he...
Take some time off, Elzer. Don't put it off any longer. I'll handle the guild matters. It's important to take care of your health. You have to take it seriously. And, cavalry captain, you would do well to remember that brevity is the soul of wit.
Master Diluc, Master Kaya, thank you both. Then I'll take my leave and rest for a few days.
Enjoy your vacation. Though, before you officially clock out, let me head out the door with you. We can grab a few bottles on the way. There's nothing quite like enjoying a quality wine while feeling the gentle breeze against your face. Ah.
Normally I'd accompany you, but unfortunately I still have some pressing matters to take care of. My apologies and regards to both of you.
Really? Oh, that's a shame.
I asked Connor to select a bottle of our best. He'll bring it by shortly.
You asked Connor?
He hasn't seen you in a while. He's just happy to be able to do this for you.
Considerate as ever. Ah, Elzer, I also brought you a gift. Here, this belt buckle's for you.
Such artistry. Thank you very much indeed. I'll put it on as soon as I get home.
Glad you like it. Go on, enjoy your time off. And don't forget to see a doctor.
Very well, Master Kaya. I'll be taking my leave now.
Elzer is a good guy, and he's very responsible. But with 1,000 different things to worry about each day, that same sense of responsibility wears him down.
Master Kaya, your wine and an apple cider for your friend. All freshly fermented this year. Please, have a taste. Traveler, this one's for you.
Oh, very clear. And a full-bodied aroma. That's rather nice.
Isn't it? This one's a little on the sweeter side, but I can go grab a dry one if you'd prefer.
No need. Sweet is just fine. Let's drink one together.
Don't mind if I do. I haven't caught up with you like this in a long time. We used to always pour the first glass for you when cracking open a new barrel. With you gone these past few years, I've had to drink it for you.
Well, since it wasn't me harvesting the grapes, de-stemming, or crushing them, it's much more fitting that you should take the first taste.
Crushing the grapes improves the aroma and color of the wine during the fermentation process. If you're curious to learn more about the winemaking process, you can read our Fruit Winemaker's Manual. If you'd like, Traveler, you can help us harvest some grapes. Winemaking can be quite a lot of fun.
It isn't nearly as exciting as he makes it sound. Your back will be in so much pain after picking grapes that you won't be able to stand up straight.
Master Kaya is right. Harvesting grapes is a back-breaking labor. But seeing the grapes turn into grape juice, then ferment into wine, it's a fascinating experience. And every person at the winery should have a chance to share in it.
Wait, so D-Luke actually helps you with the winemaking?
Oh, goodness no. Master D-Luke is far too busy, not just during the day, but even at night.
Oh? And just what is D-Luke always so busy with?
Well, you know, come nightfall, he's always out there, networking and so on. Master Kaya, you may be surprised to learn just what lengths Master D-Luke is willing to go to for the sake of the business.
Connor, you're an awful liar. I hate to see you struggle.
Oh, so Master Kaya, how do you like your drink? I remember you weren't very interested in wine when you were young.
That was because the adults said children weren't allowed even a drop. Don't you remember how much trouble D-Luke got in that time he snuck a drink?
Ah, yes, of course. Adeline even covered for the two of you.
But on a serious note, having grown up at a winery, I spent my childhood watching Tunner plant the grape seeds, waiting for them to ripen on the vine, harvesting them together and waiting for the alcohol to ferment. Even though I couldn't help with making distilled spirits, watching everyone work was fascinating. How could anyone not love to drink with a childhood like that? So, let us raise a glass to wine itself, and in thanks to the gracious hospitality the winery has shown us today.
Here, here, to Dawn Winery.
Speaking of wine, Connor, I have a gift.
I get a present too? Thank you, Master Kaya. Time really does fly. I still remember the days when everyone was giving you gifts at your birthday parties when you were young. Now I have wrinkles and Tunner's bent double, while Master Kaya is the cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius.
How is Tunner holding up?
He's still tough, but getting on in years, so some things just aren't as easy as they were. But he's used to doing things his way and doesn't trust new employees to do it for him. A lot of the temporary workers I hired quit because they couldn't handle how picky he was. Master Kaya, if you have time, why not go talk to him about it? You're probably the only person he'll listen to besides Master D-Luke.
I definitely owe him a visit. I haven't seen him in some time, and I do have fond memories of the days when he was teaching me to pick grapes. Busy day today, Tunner?
Oh, Master Kaya, you're back. No, I'm not at all busy. I just spend my hours watching the grapes growing on the vine. They're growing wonderfully this year. A few rows are almost ripe. We've already begun harvesting them these past few days, so that'll keep me occupied. Sit. After we're done picking, I'll bring a few bunches over for you to try.
No need. We were just drinking with Connor, and our stomachs are so full of wine that we couldn't eat a bite.
What about your friend? Doesn't he want to try?
Allow me to introduce the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius.
Ah, the honorary knight in the flesh. There are so many talented people in the Knights of Favonius. You all have bright futures ahead of you.
Harvesting grapes is hard work. Let me help you. Do you still remember how I used to help out when we were short-handed?
I believe I do. In that case, I'm counting on you. What's this? Everyone's clamoring to do manual labor? Well, suits me. More help is always appreciated. Come with me, young lad. I'll tell you which grapes are ripe enough, and you can pick them.
Hey, how about we go for a nice meal sometime? My treat, of course.
Ooh, you have nimble hands, lad. Master Kaya wasn't nearly so careful when he was young. He mangled so many his first time. What a waste. Fortunately, the young master has a good head on his shoulders. Didn't take long for him to get up to speed. And now he's turned into such an outstanding young man. Polite and kind. If I had a son as exceptional as Kaya, oh, I would be the happiest man in Mondstadt. There's a few more rows of grapes up ahead. Let's finish picking them together. Careful not to damage the grapes when you pinch the stem. These grapes look excellent. You're a fast learner.
Winery rules state
I'll take them. Good job. Master Kaya left the winery and moved to Mondstadt. Just like my own son, Guy. He left home to join the Knights of Favonius, too. I don't know him like Miss Adeline or Master D-Luke do, but I know that no matter how old your child gets, they always need a home they can come back to. And without family by your side, you at least need the companionship of friends. I've been working here for decades and watched him grow up with my own two eyes. Sometimes I get the sense that there is something bothering him. Something deep-rooted. But he guards his secrets closely. Or perhaps he just doesn't want to involve us. After all, I doubt that we could help him. I can see that you have a good relationship with Master Kaya. Please look after him. That he is, yes. I do still think of him as a child. It takes time for an old man's mind to adjust. Wonderful, wonderful. Knowing that he has a friend like you, we here at the winery can be happy for him.
you're looking very happy, Tunner. Was the traveler telling you some jokes?
No jokes. I've received a letter from my son, Guy. He's really going places. I'm so delighted. Master Kaya, honorary knight. My eyesight is fading in my old age. Could you read it out for me?
Of course.
Thank you both.
You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. And who knows how many other chances we'll get. So come on, what do you say? Great. Music to... There's nothing more enjoyable than... Now, how about Liyue? I'd be heading past... Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knights of Favonius, so the address on their letterhead is one of the few places I'm familiar with. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long to pack. Give me a moment, and then we'll head there together. I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am. Excellent. Well, hopefully I'll get to know some of these friends for myself. It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop. Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure.
You got a side job for me? Sure thing.
Cuisine is inedible. Cuisine is inedible.
Do you know this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Welcome to Mingxing Jewelry. We are a long-established trader of precious stones. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Let me see. Ah, some nice jewelry you've got here. Maybe I can grab something with a local flavor as a souvenir. What do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style? I trust your judgment.
Ah, you're interested in souvenirs. If you're struggling to decide, you might want to consider getting some jade. You can't go wrong with a nice jade pendant. They're an elegant addition to your look, whatever your age or gender. If you're looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications. It does take some time to fulfill an order, however. High-quality jade is hard to come by, so our waiting list is at least a couple of...
Oh, that's a pity. I'm just visiting and I won't be in...
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the... Exactly. But there's no risk in purchasing a piece... I won't say any more, as it's only human nature to spend a little when you're on a trip. The Ministry of Civil Affairs takes everyone's economic well-being very seriously, and they ought...
I think that's sound advice wherever you go into...
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty of both for your viewing pleasure.
Uncut stones. Ah, yes, we were just briefed on that.
I believe I detect a quiet but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Please rest assured, there's nothing to be quite so wary about with my business. Feel free to peruse at your leisure. I think you'll find that everything I do here is entirely above board and legitimate, and I sell only pure and unadulterated goods. No scam guaranteed. Sure, you can bet on jade and lose if you're unlucky, but that doesn't make it a scam. My terms are clear and transparent, and I only do business with willing customers. What scammer can claim that?
Sounds perfectly reasonable. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the vendor is charging. If the customer decides to hand over their money, they're taking the bait of their own free will.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Although your peculiar phrasing at the end there, you almost make it sound as if I really am scamming people. Anyway, betting on jade is what it is. Feel free to try your luck, but if you can't afford to lose, then it's not for you. We don't need to cause each other any trouble. I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal with other potential customers.
Amber-colored jade would probably make for a good souvenir. Why not? This is a quirky little place. Somehow, I'm inclined to entertain him for a bit. Well, if you're not interested, then I guess we'll pass.
Ahoy there, Captain! Fancy seeing you back in town.
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking. I barely managed to make ends meet. What about you, Shurto? Still scamming people with your pile of rocks?
Hey! Keep your voice down. Can't you see I've got customers? But more to the point, when have you ever seen a customer get scammed in my store?
I mean, you want the full list? Or... Hold up. Captain Kaya! What,
Oh, just taking a short trip with my friend. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a good while, hasn't it?
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I'm here?
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef, and their prices are very reasonable. My wife can't get enough of their boiled fish. You could give that a try. And, speaking of my wife, she won't let me forget what a great help you've been to us before. So thank you.
Your wife?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
All right. Ah, I finally remembered who that was. Captain Wu. He runs a transport business between Mondstadt and Liyue.
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were talking to. Well, that explains the generic pleasantries and the general awkwardness. Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just take off mid-conversation.
An educated guess. Yes, you could put it like that. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his ship sprang a leak. He overexerted himself fixing it and keeping the cargo dry, and ended up passing out from exhaustion. I took him to Mondstadt to recover.
Well, it still seems strange to me. Sure, he's hardly the most charming conversationalist, and he's also mighty stubborn, but all of us know Old Wu is an honest and kind-hearted man. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there when he took a tumble and injured himself. I helped to patch the kid up, and the next day, old Wu was here to buy a couple of uncut stones. I'm just surprised he was so quick to excuse himself, that's all. Normally, he's the kind of guy who, if you run into him on the street and he owes you a favor, he'll grab you by the hand and thank you profusely until you ask him to stop.
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping hole in his ship, and the water was coming in fast. How he managed to make it all the way to Mondstadt, not to mention with his cargo intact, I have no idea.
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear. It must have been one of the less savory captains out there trying to sabotage his business so they can squeeze their way into the market. When competition is stiff, sometimes things get ugly. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail before the break of dawn. He's been loitering around a lot these past few weeks, though. I thought maybe he'd come into some Mora. Competition is fierce these days, and there's not a lot of Mora to be made in shipping. So every day he stays idle is another negative in the books. I do wonder what's gotten into him. Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so who knows?
I am an upstanding member of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Just look me in the eyes. Don't you find me trustworthy?
Since you asked about recommendations earlier, you're here from Mondstadt, yes? Might I suggest the tea house is somewhere to rest your legs? If memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Bravebeard the Valiant from the top. Why not pay them a visit?
Huh. Sounds interesting enough. Let's check it out.
Swarm Fury! Too slow. Quit following me.
Huh. So this is the Huyu Tea House.
We meet again, Captain Kaya. What a coincidence. Twice in one day. Oh, that didn't take me long, and I ran the whole way.
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse buying a book for your daughter? What's this talk about the wharf?
Shh, just leave it be, Anjong. There's no need to embarrass him right in front of everyone else. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts. I'm a caravan guard by trade, and meeting people from all over the world is one of the main perks of the job for me. Why don't you join my table so we can get to know each other?
Oh, seems like the tea house is the place to be in Liyue. Feels like I'm back in the Angel Did you manage to get something for your daughter just now, Captain Wu?
Yes, thank you. If it weren't for you, Captain Kaya, she might not have even made it into the—
I'm so lost, Wu. What's the story here?
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she? Did you run into Captain Kaya when you were there on business, or when you were visiting the in-laws?
The latter. Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway, back when my wife was pregnant, we were taking a trip to Mondstadt to visit her parents this one time, when we were mugged by a group of treasure hoarders near Dawn Winery.
Oh, that sounds awful.
I mean, he's still here, and he's still got all his limbs, so they can't have roughed him up too bad. I'm guessing Captain Kaya stepped in before they could do either of you and—
Yes, he did. Thankfully, he heard my wife crying for help and drove them away. My wife was injured and quite shaken up by the ordeal. So he took her to the winery and asked them to look after her.
So what happened to you? Where did you disappear to?
I was in the water.
Huh? What did you jump in the water for? You know they can still get you in there, right?
No, that's not— They threw me into the water and, stripped me of all my clothes.
They did what? Did they have a weird fetish or something? Stripping a sailor naked and throwing him into the water. It's not like you were going to drown. So, then what? I take it you swam to shore?
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually an option. It's no surprise that they quickly overpowered Captain Wu. I'm just glad that everyone made it out all right at the end.
Captain Kaya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face for me like this. I already owe you so much. You don't have to do anything more. Yet, despite that, I somehow only ended up humiliating myself further. Oh, there's no point in me trying to save face now. They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as leverage to get my wife to pay up. But they didn't know that I could swim. What I'd intended was to pretend to drown, then sneak back onto shore while they weren't looking, and find a way to rescue my wife. That was before Captain Kaya appeared out of nowhere and saved the day. So then I figured I'd get out of the water, get dressed, and catch up with you. But God knows what they did with my clothes. I couldn't find them anywhere. By the time I gave up looking for them, you were most of the way to the winery, so I had to run after you with nary a thing on myself.
Outrageous.
So, what happened?
I made it to the winery, but the maids noticed me first, and they called the Lord of the Manor out to give me the beating the treasure hoarders never got around to. After my wife recovered consciousness...
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. But...
Ugh, good luck living that one down.
Trust me, I know. My wife never lets me forget.
I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't intending to share that story.
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I could sweep it under the carpet and forget about it. I don't know if I can ever repay you for all you've done. That's why I get so embarrassed every time I run into you. Still, it won't stop me from trying. You and your friend are here to catch the storyteller, right? In fact, they do serve some food here, too, but it's not the best. Okay, let me run and get some fruit to share. I'll be right back.
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that.
Oh, poor Wu. Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. It's just...
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that. Old Wu really has no filter, does he?
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind, I wasn't about to stop him. I did actually forget at first, but once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his naked escapades came flooding back. D-Luke thought some pervert was harassing the maids. He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. Hey, you didn't think I was being serious, did you? Do I really strike you as the kind of person to keep track of favors in a notebook? I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right...
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits, nothing extravagant. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have Mora to spare, I'll get you a proper thank you gift and send it to the Knights of Favonius.
Pharmaceutical business? So you found a new career? No more shipping?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition, and the margins are too small. So I've decided to switch gears. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand new medication they're producing. It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among sailors, but also extremely difficult to treat. I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market. It's a good cause, and a stable source of income.
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had the connections for some—
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none, and he really cares about his patients. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day. It was like a miracle cure. The pain immediately went away.
Dr. Baiju's master?
Yeah. I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks. And after some hesitation, he just went right ahead and wrote up a prescription for me, completely for free. He said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "it goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears." But he just felt like it was the right thing to do. What a great guy.
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy. He told me that his master has already passed away.
Huh? Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's old, but he's still in great health.
Captain Wu...
Just out on the street? I know that sounds dubious, but this is an educated and respectable gentleman we're talking about. There's no faking that.
Hold on a second. I've just remembered something. My nephew-in-law met a medicine seller not too long ago, too. He also described it as a miracle cure. He spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he'd bought nothing but regular painkillers. This Baifudze you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master, just to set the record straight. You could show him the medicine as well. Clearly there's some misunderstanding here.
You're right, Captain Kaya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of this up.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out, too. Frauder, I'm no Dark Knight hero, or martial arts hero for that matter, and neither are you. Wait, where are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. If a couple of outlanders like us get involved, we might just end up muddying the waters, even with the best of intentions. We came here to enjoy ourselves, remember? We don't want to get our priorities mixed up. Oh, and look at that. The storyteller's taking the stage.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally limitless. No such stranger to woes was Huang Guang, a man who, having suffered countless injustices at the hands of his fellow men, forsook them to dwell among the mountains and rivers. Yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master's wishes, he then returned once more to the human world, only this time with a sworn duty to cleanse the land of demons and to see justice done wherever he might tread.
Is that all? Huh. I was hoping to hear the rest of the story. It was all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling. But it leaves you wondering how he really feels about the whole thing. Did he ever have second thoughts? Only he can know, I suppose.
Oh, I see the show is over. Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju. Looks like it was a scam after all.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the Ministry of Civil Affairs right away.
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the order that they occurred. And one more thing. Do you still have a way to contact this guy?
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunshang Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of Mora, so I suppose he'll still be waiting on that.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
I've got no one to blame but myself for this. I can't believe I was so gullible. I guess the world isn't made for naive simpletons like me. Young man, you're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. Still, it's up to me to find a way to get my Mora back. The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comforting the young with words of wisdom rather than the other way around. What does that say about how I've spent my life?
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Come with me. I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain Wu's rescue here? There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them, can we? Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know you thought of me as someone who helps other people unconditionally. I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really. Your logic is very straightforward, and quite endearing in its simplicity. But I like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspirations for now. Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me one more favor?
I'm sorry, Captain Kaya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your Mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling angry and frustrated, but give him no way to get back at you. If it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor, what would you say?
What exactly are you getting at?
The traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the storyteller. After hearing the inspiring tale of Bravebeard, he's all gung-ho about playing hero and righting this injustice once and for all.
Captain Kaya, young man, I thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking. All right, then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow.
I once considered keeping some pets in my office, but soon gave up on the idea. It's just not right to keep small animals where they won't be able to see the sun.
Ah, you're here. Good. I'll head upstairs first, and you join me in a bit. You've got nothing to worry about. As long as this lucky coin's in my hands, it'll do as it's told. Before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet.
Hello. Are you waiting for someone? As long as you follow the rules of the tea house, you're welcome here. Please be our guest.
From the way you describe it, Liyue does sound like an attractive place to settle. Perhaps I might have to make the move here after all. All that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants. Truly tedious. The reason I left home in the first place was because I was reluctant to simply live off of my inheritance.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself, Mr. Rich, living off of the family fortune must feel like the dullest existence in the world.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. Can't you see we got here first? They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them. Very well. I'll make an exception for you this one time. Let's hope.
So, my friend, what's your name?
Here is the tea that you ordered. Please enjoy.
Ugh, this tea is... Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant and insightful conversation. I consider it good fortune that I encountered such a refined gentleman as yourself so far from home. Please allow me to pay for the tea.
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank you for your generosity.
You there. I'll get yours too. Oh, you can't tell? My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. I got bored sitting. The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to buy. That would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, I could even invest in an antique shop or two so I have something to do during the day. And the point of life is to enjoy yourself. If something makes me happy, it's worth every mora.
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a large sum of mora as far as the common man is concerned. It's understandable that our friend over here feels out of his league.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich. Now that we're so well acquainted, Mr. Bai, please just call me Albert.
Albert does have a nice ring to it. It is my honor to become friends with someone of your caliber.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you handsomely, of course. Naturally, board and lodging would be included. And I could pay you in the region of 50,000 mora per day?
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your mora. We're both men of character. The pleasure of your ongoing acquaintance shall be ample reward in itself. To join a noble gentleman on his travels is a rare opportunity. Please, let me draft up an exact itinerary. I'll make sure to give you the experience of a lifetime.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Which clan did you say you were with? The Huguwa, huh? Strange choice of name. Gotta say, I've been in Liyue for a while now. This is the first I'm hearing of them. I guess they're one of these obscure ones who keep to themselves.
Yes, well, there are many martial arts clans and factions in Liyue. It's only natural that you haven't become acquainted with all of them.
Ha, fair enough. Still, weird name. Bet they have some even weirder practices. Seriously though, what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I saw some people performing a few... I already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
Young man, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free drink?
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity back in my face?
Please, my friends, let's not get so worked up. Yinchang Tea House is no venue for a duel. We'll all get escorted right out the door. You young people have hot tempers, I understand that. But there's no need to come to blows over a few words taken to heart when there are far more diplomatic ways to resolve the dispute.
Did I hear that right? So you'll only pay for yourself if you win, but I'll get the check for the three of us if you lose. It's not that I care about the Mora. After all, I offered to pay for everyone's drinks in the first place. No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. I demand that you all... Fine. You can have your apology if you win, but on one condition. We'll do the best of three, and the winner pays for the table.
Well, as long as you're no longer raring to fight, peace begets wealth, as the elders used to say.
Why don't you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this guy for a sec. We don't want him to think you're stingy.
But I wasn't even a part of your argument.
What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side are you on here?
Of course, I'm on,
And anyway, it's no big deal if you win. It's just a few cups of tea after all, so you can just take it from your fees as my guide.
All right then. I suppose it's not all that different from the dice gambling games I used to play in my youth. If it's just for a few drinks, you can count me in.
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now that we've agreed on the rules, how should we do this coin toss? After all, a Mora coin looks the same on both sides. Well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this coin and ask the counter to draw a line on one side. You two can wait for me.
Young man, I can see that you haven't spent many years in the real world. You take everything far too personally. I, too, only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today, but we're getting along just fine. I actually came here to meet with a business partner to count the cash from 2 recent investments, when this gentleman struck up a conversation with me. In the real world, you've got to keep up appearances. There's no need to offend the rich. After all, if you keep them happy, you can probably make some more off of them, too. You young people are much too impulsive. It pays to keep a level head.
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads, and the unmarked side is tails. Everyone has to pick a... We should also take turns tossing the coin.
Sounds fair to me. Why don't you do the first toss, Albert?
All right, then, I'll start us off. Here we... Oh, wait, I nearly forgot to collect everyone's bets. Mr. Bai, heads or tails?
I suppose the choice is arbitrary since it's a 50-50 chance. I'll go with...
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What?
Oh, darn, I won. Lucky me.
I won as well. Guess there might be a formal apology in the cards after all. I have a suggestion. If one of us loses twice in a row, they should get knocked out while the other two carry on playing to decide the winner. Otherwise, with 3 of us playing, it'll start to get difficult to keep track of who's won the most times. I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go next? I don't want you blaming my coin-tossing skills if you guess wrong this turn.
Now just wait a second, my dear friends. Please let me do this.
Oh? Anxious to take your turn?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. Well, that's not my only consideration, either. You two may be too young to know this, but I've been around the block a few times. What's to say this isn't a trick coin? In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. Some even fit the dice with mechanisms that give them whichever result they want. If Albert wins the next round and you, young man, lose for the 2nd time in a row, then the 3rd round will just be a tiebreaker between him and me, and you won't get your apology to the Guhua clan. If that happens, only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all along, you're sure to accuse me of working with Albert to scam you while mocking the Guhua clan. I can only imagine the kind of vengeful warpath that would put you on. A purely hypothetical scenario, of course.
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai. Looks like I chose the right person to be my guide. Here, take it.
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see. This one seems perfectly normal to me, however. But don't take it from me. Why don't you test it for yourself?
What's your bet this time, Mr. Bai?
I'll stick with tails.
Tails, huh? Well, you...
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The 3 of us are now tied.
Well, here you go. What'll it be, Mr. Bai?
It's a tough
That's what makes it fun, isn't it? Anyway, there's no need to stress. What's the cost of a few cups of tea compared to 50,000 I'll be paying you every day?
You make a good point. All right?
Okay, and now it's my turn to get.
Why did it have to be heads? This whole thing started because you two got into a spat, and now I'm the one that has to foot the bill. What say you to another round?
Sure, why not? I'm having fun. What a miserly person. Do as you please. The 2 of us can...
But, Albert, all the fun of gambling is in the stakes involved. What say you to throwing a little loose change into the...
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells here. Let's keep it simple, shall we? If you guess right, I pick up the tab. But if you guess wrong...
Sure. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, here's the coin. You can
I'll choose...
Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed the same as me? This is a 2-person game now. Surely one of us has to guess heads and the other tails.
All right. It all comes down to luck, after all. I'll take tails. Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me today after all. Thank you for the tea.
Look at you getting so giddy over some chump change. It's like you've never gambled with real money before, my old man. That's a real rush, I'm telling you. This is nothing by comparison. In fact, I'm starting to get a little bored.
Well, in that case, would you care for another game?
Sure. And let's up the stakes a little this time. Shall we say 50,000?
Oh, maybe that's a little on the high side.
What, 50,000? But that's just a single day's guide pay for you.
All right. I'll bet tail.
Great, then I'll bet head.
Oh, how unfortunate. I shouldn't have gotten greedy. After all, in the long run, gambling is always a losing game. 50,000 more. My goodness. Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens, I forgot to bring my coin purse with me today. Could you perhaps take this 50,000 out of my guide fees? Call it an advance payment. That would make us even.
Advance payment? Sorry, I'm afraid that's not my style. It'll have to be cash.
This day just getting better and better. Well, so be it. 50,000. Let me see what cash I have on me.
Just 50,000? That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking about? I think you'll find that our bet was for 50,000.
No, it wasn't. The amount was 1 million.
1 million? Are you insane? Come on now, Albert. Be serious. 1 million here and 1 million there might be all fun and games to you rich types, but to ordinary folk like myself, this is no laughing matter.
I'm being perfectly serious. I know what I said, and what I said was 1 million mora.
You're lying through your teeth. Hey, huh? What the? I'm not deaf, you know. I swear I heard 50,000. Oh, I see. You two are in this together. I never met either of you before today, and out of nowhere you suddenly roped me into betting over a coin toss. And now you're accusing me of owing you 1 million mora. Huh? Do you have any idea who you're trying to cheat? I know all the tricks in the book. I can't believe a couple of beginners like you managed to get this far. Well, don't you try to celebrate just yet. You amateurs have a lot to learn about the art of the con. Do you really think that nobody else will have heard all the commotion we just made? All I need is one witness, and this little scheme of yours falls apart. Frauds! Frauds, I say! These two kids are trying to scam me out of my hard-earned mora! Hostess! Oh, hostess, come quickly!
How pathetic. What is going on here? If you can't abide by our rules, you're not welcome at Yenshang Tea House. I don't care what the issue is. You don't get to make a racket like that in here. Halberd! Fang!
Wait, don't throw me out! These two con artists are trying to steal my mora. You can't let them get away with it.
Well, let's take this somewhere else. I don't want any of you disturbing the other guests. Okay, you two. Care to explain yourselves?
Gladly. He's making up completely spurious claims. We were betting mora over a few coin tosses, and now he wants to back out. In the land of contracts, of all places. He won 250,000 from me, then another 800,000 from the both of us. Now he's refusing to pay up the measly 50,000 that he lost in the final round.
Okay, so after settling up, a total of 1 million mora should have changed hands. Sounds plausible enough.
Oh, it's a complete pack of lies. Hostess, if you don't believe me, ask anyone else in the tea house. These kids were so loud. I guarantee you everybody in that room knows the true story.
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you're witnesses to the situation here. Is what Mr. Bai says true?
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long? That old guy's been bragging about the Mora he's won so loudly, I'm surprised the whole street didn't hear him. I was about to report him to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Leave me out of this. I want nothing to do with gamblers and scammers. Please, just bring me my check.
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. We turn a blind eye towards casual games of dice, but there is zero tolerance for any explicit gambling with real Mora. Return any winnings to the party you took them from, and we'll say that none of this ever happened. Otherwise, I'll have to bring in the Millilith. And I can assure you that they take a more hard line on this kind of thing than we do.
Why should I have to give them any Mora? I don't have any Mora on me.
Oh, but I think you do. 2 investments, was it? One of them to the tune of exactly 1 million as it happens. Oh, and don't forget you still need to pay the tab.
You... Wait. How did you...
Halberd! Fang! There's a gentleman here that I'd really like you to meet.
Please, please don't.
This was never your Mora to begin with. We'll be returning it to its rightful owner now. What did you think, Captain Wu? Could you hear clearly from your corner on the 2nd floor?
Yes, everything. I can't thank you two enough.
Wu, this was your doing, wasn't it? You and this Mondstatter planned the whole thing. Along with that blonde one. And all the customers on that floor were in on it too, weren't they? I know where you live, and I know what your wife looks like, and your pretty little daughter, too. You crossed the wrong man today.
Who'd be scared of a crook like you? I'll take you on any day of the week.
Well, let's see how long that false bravado of yours will last.
Oh, look at that. He figured it out. Guess he's not as dumb as we thought.
Don't you two get cocky either. Just you wait. I will hunt you down.
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. But I couldn't have things escalate inside the tea house. I hope you can understand our position. I noticed that all the guests on the 2nd floor were present before you took your seats, then left almost immediately after you did. Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set this man up?
Wait, so you saw through it right away?
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a scheme like this taking place on our grounds, as it risks damaging our owner's reputation. However, I understand that our owner holds the Traveler in high regard and must have good reasons for their actions. Still, I would appreciate an explanation, if only so that I can answer to the owner.
Ah, as I thought. When you're operating on someone else's turf, you run the risk of clashing with the master of the house. Thankfully, we considered that possibility before going ahead with our plan. Over to you, brave hero. You're the one with the connections in Liyue. It's your time to shine.
Okay, I understand the situation now. It goes without saying that I have no wish to stand in the way of your chivalrous deeds. I'll report everything you told me to our owner.
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you think? Angry and frustrated enough for you?
Excuse me, coming through. Is this the Mr. Bai you reported to us?
Yes, that's him all right.
Wait!
You can't talk your way out of this one. Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If so, we'd really appreciate if they could come with us and provide a testimony. You got tangled up in this too, huh? In that case, please come with me. Your witness statements will play a crucial role in helping to move this case forward. Don't worry, we won't take up too much of your time. And you—
Hey, keep your hands off me!
Thank you so much, the both—
Well, I have an idea.
Let me think. Now, where would I—
Sounds fun to me. Let's go. Rises. Too slow. Quit following me. Behold! Well, this was certainly an eventful end to my trip. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Or my lucky coin, of course. Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin if it had. Besides, I already taught you how to become attuned to it. You still need some practice to master the technique, but luckily it decided to play nice and spare us any more complications. A better question to ask might be, what do I do to make this coin happy to work with me and show me whichever side I wish? My answer would be that I tell the coin a joke every time I toss it into the air. If it finds my joke funny, then it cooperates with me. Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing amount of trust between the two of us. I can't just get any Yeah, I was a little surprised when he unwittingly called out our trick coin, but it didn't matter. A good gambler always keeps their options open. You have to have a contingency plan for when the odds are against you. So when I went to the counter, I marked a regular coin as well as my trick one. That safely avoided any risk of him finding out about the trick coin. But it also meant that we wouldn't be able to control the result of that round. But hey, what does it matter? The fact that he made things a little more challenging only made it all the more exciting to watch him slowly but surely fall into our trap. Especially listening to him warn us about the possibility of a rigged coin right as we were scamming him. That was my favorite part. As long as I chose the same bet as him, and you bet the opposite to me, it was always going to end up with him paying. Unless, of course, he'd had some other tricks up his sleeve that we hadn't thought of. Then things would have gotten really interesting.
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. I'm no intellectual, so I would never have been able to come up with a plan like this. Even when you described it to me, I only understood parts of it. Well, I may not be the smartest guy around, but one thing I do know is this. One should always return tenfold the help that they've received from others. We were just ordinary acquaintances. You had no reason to help me as much as you did. If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future, anything at all, please let me know. You can always count on me. I guarantee it.
Oh? You seem agitated. Are you worried about owing me yet another favor? There are two kinds of people who owe me favors. One is my friends, and the other my informants. My informants have to fulfill whatever requests I make of them, no questions asked. The question is, which kind of person do you want to be? Ah, and you're torn again. Too afraid to ask to be my friend, but also daunted by the dangers inherent in becoming my informant. Well, it's okay, because I just thought of a fun and easy way to get us out of this impasse. Let's do a coin toss. This is the regular coin I prepared for the contingency plan when I was borrowing a pen from the bar. Not the lucky one that does what I tell it to. If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails, you're at my beck and call. May the Lord of Geo decide.
So, was it heads or tails?
What do you think? What does your heart tell you?
I understand now. You have my most sincere gratitude. No, that's a little too formal. What I'm trying to say is, here, your fishing rods, my friends.
I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. I taught her a few tricks just before I left. Kids will always have their moments of mischief, but to be able to grow up without a worry or care in the world is something truly precious. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of Favonius are with Jean, next up is... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the pretext of delivering souvenirs and try to score some free wine? It's been a long time since I last saw everyone there. Plus, it'll be the perfect time to treat you to some of their newest brews. D-Luke should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after tomorrow, so perhaps it'll be easier to get free wine then. What do you think? When should we go? Great. Then it's settled. Let's meet the day after tomorrow at the front entrance of the Dawn Winery.
Too slow.
Let's begin. You're more punctual than I expected. Let's head inside.
If you ever see any stickers on my back, do me a favor and take them off. Malazines like to play pranks sometimes.
Master Kaya? And the Traveler? Welcome! Welcome! Please, come in. I'll fetch you both something to drink.
Long time no see, Elzer.
Yes, it's been a while, hasn't it? So, what brings you back to the winery this... Sorry. Is there anything I can do for you?
No need to be so formal. I just returned from Sumeru and dropped by to see you all.
Ah, what a pity. Master D-Luke went out to handle business last night and hasn't returned yet.
Never mind. The main thing is that you and Adeland are here. Oh, speaking of Adeland, where is she?
She's taking some time off. She was busy cleaning yesterday and finally has a bit of time to herself.
Perfect. I brought some gifts for you both. Here, This belt buckle is for you.
My goodness, it's exquisite. Thank you, Master Kaya. I'll treasure it. Would you like anything to drink? We recently finished making a new batch of dandelion wine.
Well, what perfect timing. I was just wondering how this year's batch was coming along.
Let me fetch a barrel and have someone deliver it to the Knights of Favonius headquarters for you.
Oh, I won't be needing an entire barrel. A couple of bottles will be more than sufficient. Else Diluc might say I came here to beg.
Oh, Master Diluc might grumble, but he doesn't mean it. Anyway, let me fix you both a drink.
Much obliged. Then I'll have a glass of dandelion wine and a glass of cider lake for him, if you please.
The name is not that literal. It is a drink with
Strictly speaking, that's not entirely true. Cider Lake does have a tiny amount of alcohol in it.
Please, enjoy. Pleased you liked it. Looks like my bartending skills haven't faded with age.
How have you been recently? Is the winery's business doing well?
To tell you the truth, we've had our work cut out for us recently trying to fulfill some major orders. Things have only just started to quiet down over the last couple of days.
So, you've had no time off lately?
Master Diluc was concerned about the same thing. But with him being out on business for a few days, who would take care of business and the guests if I were to take time off? Maybe some other time.
At least take half a day to see a doctor and make sure you're okay. If your condition worsens, Diluc will never forgive himself.
You make a fair point.
If you're worried about having someone to handle the winery, why not leave it to me? I'm familiar enough with your responsibilities to cover for you for a while.
Master Kaya, Please, come back to the winery more often. We all miss you very much.
All right. No need for that kind of talk. Come on, I'll see you out.
While I'm resting, I shall leave Dawn Winery in your hands.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Rest easy, and go see the doctor. Such great weather today. A calm breeze and delicious wine. This is quite the treat. Though, it's a pity this batch seems a bit bland. How about I go to the wine locker and fetch one from the reserve collection? I remember it's on the second floor. Of course it's fine. I promised Elzer I'd help. I said nothing about leaving the wine alone.
Sorry, I'm a little late to the welcome party, but I believe I just heard the words wine locker and reserve collection. Planning on pilfering a bottle of reserve, Master Kaya? The reserve collection is reserved for a reason, you know. You should at least run it past Master Diluc first.
Oh, Adeland, surely you misheard. We were simply taking a walk around the house.
I see. Anyway, what brings you and the traveler to the winery today?
We just returned from Sumeru. It's been a while, so I thought we might drop by and say hello. And perhaps enjoy a complimentary drink while we're here. Surely you wouldn't object, Adeland.
How could I object? We're simply happy that you've come back to see us.
Oh, Adeland, I also brought some gifts for you all. This bottle of essential oil is for you. If you rub it on your hands when it gets cold, your skin won't crack.
Oh my! I can't believe you remembered something like that.
Of course I remember. You always took such good care of me when I fell sick as a child. In comparison, this is nothing.
You're all grown up now, and you don't get sick nearly as easily. You don't need me to look after you anymore.
True, I don't get sick as much. But speaking of being looked after, when I was in Sumeru, I did find myself and my stomach missing your cooking so terribly.
Oh, are you hungry? Would you like to eat something? You too, traveler. Please tell me if there's anything you'd like to eat.
Well, now that you mention it, I do actually feel a bit peckish.
Steak?
Oh, yes. A nice steak would really hit the spot.
Fragrant cedarwood grilled, medium, stewed vegetables on the side?
Yes, just like you always used to make. Thank you kindly, Adeland.
My pleasure. Traveler, I'm sorry I'm not familiar with your preferences. Would you like to come with me and select a few dishes? Grilling the steak over fragrant cedarwood infuses it with more flavor than pan-frying it. It's a favorite of Master Kaya's. Since using an open flame to grill indoors is somewhat inconvenient, we usually set up a grill outdoors. It's perfect for grilling meat, but you can also use it to make stews. I can offer you a satisfying salad, cold cut platter, and anything stewed. What would you prefer, traveler? Okay, right away. Master Kaya really likes stewed vegetables, but it takes the most time. So I'll start making that first and then prepare your meal once that's underway. Of course! I looked after him and Master Diluc when they were growing up. He wasn't always such a complicated character. He was a gentle child, polite and very sweet. Boys, huh? The gentle ones grow up to be wild, and the rambunctious ones become quiet and reserved. At least that's my experience. If there's anything you don't understand about Master Kaya and his antics, please feel free to talk to me about it. His temperament has changed quite a lot over the years, but he still has a lot of the endearing qualities I remember. Kaya is much savvier and more mature than he used to be. Goodness knows he could be tricky to deal with. But let me share a few little tips. When he answers your question with a question, stop and think carefully about what he wants you to believe, and don't be led on by him. As for not knowing what he's up to, that's because he loves making up a good cover story. But don't let him get to you too much. You can take it from me. You were drinking a cider lake just now, right? Do you know why it's called that? The name was coined by none other than Master Krepus when he mixed the drink for Master Kaya himself. Oh, they were adorable when they were young. One time, the winery was hosting a banquet, and Master Krepus strictly forbade Master Diluc from drinking. Master Diluc wasn't happy about that, and he convinced Master Kaya to team up with him and sneak into the wine cellar to steal some dandelion wine. And how did I find this out? Because when Master Kaya attempted to distract me, I could clearly see Diluc hiding around the corner of the corridor, gesturing to Master Kaya to direct him through the whole thing. The Captain Kaya of today never bats an eye when he lies, but he wasn't like that at all when he was young. Oh, goodness, how did I get into this? Anyway, they were discovered by Master Krepus in the end, and he was furious. He punished Master Kaya by making him write lines, and Master Diluc was forced to clean the wine barrels in the cellar. Oh, the wine cellar had over a dozen large wine barrels to scrub, and Master Diluc was just a child. There was no way he could finish it all by himself. Master Krepus really meant to teach him a lesson. I'd originally planned to secretly finish off the work for him, but when I peeked inside the cellar, I found that Master Kaya was already there. He and I finished scrubbing the remaining barrels. When Master Krepus saw that the bruises on Master Kaya's hands were even darker than those on Master Diluc's hands, he instantly understood the situation. Master Krepus wasn't stern by nature, so to comfort Master Kaya, he mixed him a drink and added a few drops of alcohol just so he could have a little taste. So you see, Kaya was a gentle child, and never one to boast about the things he did for other people. Sometimes he'd even deny it if asked. His friends have a special place in his heart, even if he keeps this to himself. Kaya's quite a smooth talker these days, but I can tell that his habit of quietly helping others hasn't changed. Ah, good. Okay, the stew is nearly ready, but the meat and the other dishes will need a moment. Please wait at the table. I'll be over shortly.
Drinking fine wine, eating Adeline's steak? Ah, now this is what I call a vacation. Oh? What has Adeline been telling you? So she told the good stories. Well, shucks. Now I'm embarrassed.
Food's ready. I hope you're hungry. I made a little extra, given how long it's been since you were last here.
Oh, we never imagined there would be such a magnificent feast. You've really outdone yourself. Why don't you sit and eat with us this time?
If you keep chatting away, the food will get cold. I'll wait here. Please call me if you need anything.
I'm afraid that just won't do, Adeline. I'm serious. We get together so rarely. Can't you bend the house rules just this once? After all, I don't live here anymore, so I'm just a regular guest. You aren't going to refuse your honored guest this small request, are you?
Since it's you, Master Kaya, I see no choice but to honor your request. I know that us sharing a meal is a sign of our close relationship, but this is technically against the rules for a maid, so please forgive me for rebuffing you at first. I didn't mean to sound rude. Traveler, given how petty Master Kaya can be, it must be hard for him.
Looks like my efforts have paid off. See, Adeland?
Hello, everyone. Pardon me, but is this Dawn Winery? I'm Guangzhe, a guard with the Secure Transport Agency.
No wonder Elzer felt so strongly about staying. He certainly wasn't kidding about how busy it is. Mr. Guangzhe, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine. The Secure Transport Agency has worked with your fine establishment in the past, though we have only corresponded through letters. I always found it a great pity that I, the overseer of our cooperation, have never had the occasion to visit in person.
Why don't we go inside to discuss the details? No doubt the conversation will flow better with some of our wines to taste. Adeland, we'll continue our discussion later. Could you fetch some apple cider for the three of us?
Certainly, Master Kaya. Please wait a moment.
A word of advice, don't break the law. Is there anything else? Yeah, seriously, don't break the law.
Let's dance.
And how might I address you, sir, as well as your...
Just Kaya is fine. I'm standing in today for Elzer, who usually manages the winery's business. And this is my good friend.
A pleasure to meet you as well. I'm not just here today to pay a visit. I actually have an invitation for Master Diluc to cut the ribbon at a ceremony to celebrate our agency's business. Our collaboration with Dawn Winery last year was quite successful, and I was curious about your product shipment plans for the next quarter. If it's no trouble, please, also mention to Master Diluc that our agency has expanded this year, so if the winery has any additional needs, please, consider us.
Master Kaya, the apple cider you requested.
Master? Wait. Pardon my foolishness, but might I inquire as to your relation to Dawn Winery?
I'm Master Crepus's adopted son, and Master Diluc's brother. However, as a serving captain with the Knights of Favonius, I am rarely at the winery.
My mistake. I apologize for not realizing earlier. I do hope I have not done you a discourtesy.
You may have misunderstood, Mr. Guangzhe. Though I am Master Diluc's brother, I don't actually live at Dawn Winery. I'm also a guest here today. I'm merely here receiving guests due to Elzer being temporarily indisposed. But please, don't worry. I will be sure to extend your invitation to Master Diluc.
Thank you for your graciousness. I knew the Dawn Winery's wines were delicious, but I am only now discovering how wonderful the apple cider is. It has a clear and inviting fragrance.
In addition to the apple cider, the winery has an extensive collection of reserve wines and liquors. I see you are also a connoisseur of fine wines, so it would be a shame not to sample some. Adeland, please fetch a bottle from the reserve collection in the second floor wine locker.
As you wish, Master.
Thank you again for your most gracious hospitality. Today's trip was very fruitful. Now, allow your humble servant to take his leave.
Please, it was a pleasure. Here's hoping we'll have a chance to share some more fine wines together in the future.
The guest has left, Master Kaya. It's no skin off my nose. Master Diluc may have a few choice words when he learns of the situation, but that's all. All I really wanted to say is, you will always be a part of the Dawn Winery family, Master Kaya. I have never considered you an outsider. No matter when, if you ever feel tired, you'll always be welcome here.
I understand, Adeland. Oh, now this is a busy day. Who's at the door this time?
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Now that was fast. How are you feeling?
The doctor said there was nothing to worry about. I just need some rest. But on the way back, I met someone who was looking for Master Kaya.
Kaya! Shh! Klee's here to rescue you. Come on! Let's escape. Mr. Honorary Knight! Are you grounded with Kaya too?
Grounded? Yes, Albedo was saying something about that. Sumeru was fun, but it can't compare with Mondstadt. So here we are.
You two must have done something to make Jean mad, but that's okay. Kaya has rescued Klee loads of times before, so when Albedo told me you came back, I went and said sorry to Jean. Kaya, you're free now! We can go play together again!
Oh, if my memory serves me correctly, this child is...
This is a fully qualified Knight of Favonius, Klee.
Hello, miss. I'm Klee. We're sorry. Please don't ground Kaya.
What?
I really need to take Kaya and Mr. Honorary Knight away, so we can go find Albedo, Sucrose, Amber, and everyone else and play together.
I see. Hello, Miss Klee. You needn't worry. Master Kaya's grounding is long over.
See, Adeland, you don't need to worry about me. I have lots of people to care for me now.
If you ever see any stickers on my back, do me a favor and take them off. Malazines like to play pranks sometimes. That's all right. The real problem would be if we could feel water dripping on our heads in the fortress of Meripede.
sun rises. Too slow. Quit following me. Relax. Behold!
Anything the Knights can do.
Too slow.
I sure hope Sister Barbara is okay. Sister Barbara said that she was going out to pick some herbs earlier, but I'm afraid that she has yet to return. Perhaps I should report the matter to the Knights of Favonius. You? Well, I guess as the honorary knight, you may very well be a good fit for the task. Not to mention, it would save me the trouble of reporting the matter to the knights. All right, I'll leave it to you. Before Sister Barbara departed, she said that she was headed to Wolvendom to pick some herbs. You could start by looking for her there.
Quit following me. Quit following me. Too slow.
How strange. I can't seem to find any. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Oh, I see. No need to worry. There hasn't been any sign of danger. I'm just here to gather some red wolfhook berry. But the strange thing is, there should be lots of them here. Well, anyway, no need to worry about me. I'll just have another look around here, and if I can't find any, I'll just...
Miss Barbara? Huh? She's not here either.
Huh? Oh, somebody seems to... Oh, I'm sorry, but... Because... All right then. Let's head the... Shh. Keep your voice down. We mustn't let that person find us here. Oh, this should be a good spot. Let's wait here for a while. Well, it's a little embarrassing to say, but in Mondstadt, I often perform songs for people. Because it's been so well received, the other sisters have started encouraging me to perform across Tivat. Now, more and more people are showing up to hear me perform. I'm happy to see such turnouts, don't get me wrong. But now, people always stop me on the street when I go shopping or when I go out for personal matters. I know that all they want is to get my autograph or to ask me how I'm doing, which isn't a bad thing. And I'm very thankful for all my fans, but there are simply too many of them. I always do my best to fulfill their requests and not let them down. But sometimes I feel that I just don't have the strength to do so. Even when I'm in the church, people will still come hoping to greet me. I'm constantly in a state of tension no matter where I go. The reason I came here was not only to find wolf hooks for making Tunner's cough medicine, but also to have some quiet time alone. Do you understand that feeling? To sit peacefully and not think about anything? Just by yourself? It's simply the feeling of relaxation. It's been far too long since I've had that feeling. Before I knew it, I was out here all day and forgot to return to the city. Well, yes, there are plenty of the normal variety, but I'm looking for red wolf hooks. No matter how hard I look, I can't seem to find any. I clearly remember that they always grow here. I guess that's all we can do for now. Although it certainly isn't nice to treat someone that way. But today, I simply wish to keep to myself. Huh? What do you mean? I'm sorry. I think we should go. Shh. Keep your voice down. Oh, this should be a good... Well, it's a little... In Mondstadt, I often perform songs for people. I'm happy to see such turnouts, don't get me wrong. I know that all they want is to get my autograph and I'm very thankful for all my fans. I always do my best to fulfill their requests and not let them down, but sometimes I feel that I just don't have the strength to do so. Even when I'm in the church, people will still come hoping to greet me. The reason I came here was not only to find wolf hooks for making Tunner's cough medicine. Do you understand that feeling? To sit it's been far too long since I've had that feeling. Oh yes, there are plenty of the normal variety, but I'm looking... I guess that's all we can do for now. My family? Well, my father left on an expedition together with Grandmaster Varka and has yet to return. And as for the other person I can call family, well, she doesn't have much time to look after me. And besides, I'm more than capable of taking care of myself, so there's no need for me to bother her. That's right. The Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. I'm sure you've heard his name mentioned before. Seamus Pegg, the Cardinal of Daybreak and the Seneschal of the Church of Favonius. That's my father. But it's been some time since I last saw him. And I'm still uncertain of when Grandmaster Varka's expedition will finally be finished. I don't know. My father only briefly mentioned the matter to me before he set off. He also turned over all his responsibilities in the church to Cardinal Calvin. Cardinal Calvin has been taking care of various matters since the departure of my father and Grandmaster Varka. He's so busy that he seldom ever leaves his room. Even the other sisters in the church rarely ever see him. The only time I've seen him recently was when the Holy Lair de Hermel was stolen. He went to the Knights of Favonius in such a hurry that he hadn't even fastened all the buttons on his garments. Speaking of which, you still remember that day, right? You recovered the Holy Lair de Hermel together with that bard and Jean. The acting Grand Master. Oh, I was shocked to see the Holy Lair de Hermel in such a condition. Thank the heavens that the bard was able to mend it. We'd never hear the end of it from Cardinal Cal, huh? There's nothing wrong with the Holy Lair de... Well, anyway, at least the Holy Lair de Hermel is fixed. Never mind the lyre for now. I think that person should be long gone. And I still need to pick those wolf hooks. I can't seem to find any of the red variety anywhere. Your help would be much appreciated. Let's search the nearby area. I'm sure we'll find some in no time. Strange. I'm almost certain I've seen lots of red wolf hooks growing here before.
Relax. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow.
Oh, these must be the red wolf hook berries that Barbara is looking for. Let's gather some and bring them back to her.
The wind rises. fury.
Oh, were you able to find some red wolf hook berries? Let me have a look. Yep, that should be enough. But it's still strange. I know for sure that I've seen lots of red. I wonder if someone had already. Well, never mind. Thankfully, the berries you gathered should be just enough. Let's go.
Too slow. The wind rises.
Glad if you stay in there for a little sun. Yes. I've told him, but I'd like to check on. She's most certain. And besides. Oh, thank you so much.
Way now.
Let the show begin.
Oh, you're back again. If you're... Oh, I see. Thank Barbados that she's all... But it sounds like she won't be back anytime... Oh, well, that's most kind of you. I certainly wouldn't want to trouble you. Let me think for a moment. Ah, yes, you could help tidy up around the cathedral a bit. People tend to bring dust in as they come into the cathedral, so the floor is often quite dirty. Cleaning and the like have always been Sister Barbara's responsibility. So the moment she's gone, everything starts getting dirty. Yes, that's right. She always said that she could handle it herself and that there's no need to ask anyone else to help her. But she does often appear quite exhausted after she's finished with the cleaning. To be honest, I'm most surprised that you are willing to help, or rather that Barbara is willing to let you help. However, this would help to lighten her burden. Anyway, I'll let you handle the cleaning for now, Honorary Knight.
Anything the knights can do for you?
Let's begin.
Let's dance. Huh? Go, Barbara, go! Sister Victoria told me you already helped tidy up the cathedral. I just returned a short while ago. I can't thank you enough for how much you've helped me today, both here in the cathedral and back in Wolfendom. You must be thirsty after so much work, no? How about I treat you to a drink? Oh, I've just remembered that the Cat's Tail is promoting a special drink recently. Miss Margaret said that the name of the drink is Fantastic Summer Serendipity Coral Sparkling Tea. She also mentioned that it's her secret weapon to beating Angel's share in drink sales. Word is that the drink's pretty good, but there's always a line to get it. We'll probably have to wait if we want some. If you'd rather not stand in line, I could make you a glass of my very own chili brew. Which would you like to drink? Coming right up! But I should warn you, the flavor is quite unique. I'm not sure how you'll handle it. Alright, let me think. To make this drink, we'll need some fresh Jueyun chilies and sweet flowers. The key to a good batch of chili brew is not the quantity of ingredients, but the quality of ingredients. I know where to gather fresh Jueyun chilies, but sweet flowers might be a bit tricky. Though they're easy to find, high-quality sweet flowers are few and far between. Oh, why don't we split up to search for ingredients? Once we've found the ingredients we need, we can meet up just south of the Whispering Woods. Oh, you really think so? Okay then. With the honorary knight by my side, I can gather ingredients without a care in the world. Oh, and by the way, even though I've already requested a half-day's leave from Sister Victoria, she always insists that I still give her my itinerary for any trips I take. We should go check in with Sister Victoria first. We could say... we're going out to gather some herbs.
Anything the knights can do.
Oh, Sister Barbara, is something...
I'd like to go to the Whispering Woods to pick some herbs.
Oh? But didn't you just submit a request for half a day's leave to see a friend? Now you suddenly intend to go herb picking? I thought you would take a rest today. Still, you may do as you please with your plans. But the Whispering Woods are quite a distance away. Perhaps you should...
With the honorary knight by my...
Thank you for informing me.
Thank you. All right, we're good to go. Let's head out. Here we are! The sweet flowers growing here are some of the highest quality. I often pick them here, but why are there so many monsters around? Let's take care of them first. Then we can look for sweet flowers in the vicinity.
Fire it up!
A moment, please.
A more than a few monsters, but you made it look easy. Oh, stop right there! Looks like you hurt yourself on your arm. No, no, no. Even a graze can turn. Wait just a second. That should do it.
Hello there. Excuse me, but...
Yes,
Praise the Archons. I'm a hunter from Springvale. I was attacked by monsters when I passed through here. I was lucky to have escaped, but please, won't you heal me? Treasure who now? Don't be silly. Would a treasure hoarder get injured and then stop a couple of passers-by begging to be healed? Don't be ridiculous. Me? A treasure hoarder? Look here. Aren't these monster injuries? How could I have done this to How can you be so heartless? How could I make the journey with all these terrible injuries? It's no wonder looking at you. You adventurers are all alike. Suspicious by nature. Sister Deaconess, you believe me, right?
Yes, I will heal. Oh, his wounds look difficult to heal. I'll need some herbs. Can you watch him? Okay. I'm going to look for some small lamp grass in the area. Please stay with him and make sure no monsters get to him.
You... Fine, heartless adventurer. I'll stay hidden, Sister Deaconess, but please be back soon. I beg of you.
We'll be back soon. Don't worry.
A word of advice, don't break the law. Is there anything else? Yeah, seriously, don't break the law.
Don't look so serious. I know what you're thinking. I've heard a lot about the criminal methods of the treasure hoarders around Mondstadt. Usually, if I come across a person like this, I'd simply ask them to seek help from somebody at the church. But this fellow is in serious condition. He needs urgent healing. After all, I've got an honorary knight at my side to protect me, right? Let's gather the small lamp grass and head back so we can heal him.
Where'd this rain come from? Are you gonna be okay? Here, I'll lend you my coat.
Sister Deaconess.
This should do the trick. Hold on a moment.
You adventurers.
All right, that should do it. But just...
No need. I should be able to recover by myself. Sister why weren't you suspicious of me? Like the Surely you've heard about the treasure hoarders and their methods. Feigning injury by the roadside, begging for healing to get close to travelers, then striking at the opportune moment. You know, and that's just one of their methods. Weren't you worried that I might have been looking to harm you?
It crossed my mind.
And yet, why did you still help?
Oh, the fact was you needed healing, right? And you hadn't done anything wrong. You just asked me for help. Whatever your true identity, in my eyes, you were merely a person in need of healing.
Sister Deaconess, the truth is, I am a treasure hoarder. My plan was to feign injury in order to take advantage of the situation, but I ran into a group of monsters. I barely made it out. Then I realized I actually had to seek help from someone, anyone. But travelers all kept their distance. None of them believed me. Until I can't thank you enough for healing me. I feel strong enough to carry on now. I won't trouble you anymore.
Oh, well, the best thing would be for you to come back to Mondstadt with us. The church can help with your treatment. You're not fully healed yet.
Please, I've taken up enough of your time. Oh, these are for you. I'm afraid I have nothing of value to give, but I picked these sweet flowers from nearby. Take them as thanks for healing me. I will remember your kindness. In the future, if you have any trouble with treasure hoarders, just mention my name, Uwe. I guarantee they won't dare touch the hem of your jacket. I must go.
What a strange character. But I hope his wounds will be okay. At least we got a hold of some sweet flowers. We were running out of time for me to whip you up some chili. Oh, wow! This is a great batch. That's everything we need.
Lovely weather, perhaps.
I'm a deaconess. Healing the wounded is something I must do. Besides, I have a vision. Even if he did try anything, I'd have been able to handle it. Not to mention, I had the honorary knight with me. If there'd been any... If I was alone... Well, for a vision bearer, I'm more adept at healing. If there were too many enemies, I guess I would have been defeated after a while. However, because I would have been alone, I wouldn't have risked an ambush by stopping to heal him myself. I would have just left some herbs with him instead. I'm good at remembering self-defense tactics like that. After all, as Sister Victoria always says, don't go around healing people in the wild. Then again, what's the point of having a vision if I can't stretch the rules once in a while? Oh, the chili brew! It shouldn't take long to make. Why don't you wait for me in the garden next to the Adventurers Guild? I'll bring it straight over when it's ready.
Wind go with it.
Sorry for the delay. The chili brew's ready. Why don't we drink these here? Here. This one is for you. Let me... Really? Is the flavor okay? I was worried you might not like it. Well, I like chili brew because... Actually, at first I drank chili brew just when I first began singing practice. I had to get up early. After practice, I would go to work at the church to take care of a... But because I was getting up so early, my singing wasn't getting any better. Sometimes I'd be half asleep singing the wrong lyrics. It was a disaster. I went to people for advice on how to stay awake. They had all kinds of methods. Running, chewing mint. One adventurer even told me that they'd fight slimes to stave off sleep. None of those ideas worked for me. They were too time-consuming. By the time I started to feel awake, there was hardly any time left for practice. That was until I started chewing Julian chilies. That's what Sarah said. She told me not to chew them, but to use the Julian chilies to make some kind of drink, something milder in flavor. Using sweet flowers to temper the flavor was also her idea. That's when I started using this new and improved chili brew method. After a while, I actually started to enjoy the flavor. Whenever I drank it, the spiciness would always push me to work harder. what to say. My determination is nothing compared to yours. I heard Amber say that you're traveling far and wide looking for your sibling. Is that true? Oh, the things you've faced, and those yet to come, are more difficult than a few bad songs. Even if I can't assist you in other ways, when it comes to healing, you can count on me. No matter the wound, I will help you recover. Oh, have I said too much? Sorry, I'm not used to taking a break. I keep boring you to death. It's not often I get so much freedom. Let's just take our time and drink our drinks. Tomorrow, it's back to I hope our dreams can come true.
Check this out!